Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Yoga with Brock. How's everyone doing tonight? So yeah, it's been a week. We are almost done with January. I can't believe it. But anyways, my name is Brock in the Box, and welcome to the Twitch Crew community page as well. While we are getting all settled down and ready, just a couple things that you should have is, of course, some comfortable clothing on so you can move freely and can relax a bit. A yoga mat, especially if you are on a hard floor, because I don't want you hurting yourself. Wireless headphones or any headphones. Wireless is easier so you can move around more freely, just so you can actually listen to everything and enjoy the music and whatnot. Of course, a positive and open mind, so you can get the full benefits of all this as well. A couple important things as well then too, while you are doing yoga. When you're doing the stretches, it's important to find your range of comfort. Of course, there is not enough and too much when you're doing stretches and poses, and of course I don't want you doing too much or you might hurt yourself or strain something or pull something. We don't want that. Of course, you want to be doing enough that you actually benefit and get a good stretch in. When you're doing poses, it's of course important to be breathing and to be breathing properly, and we will be doing those breathing exercises today. Also important to know that we, of course, all do yoga differently. A way I might be able to do it is not something a way you might be able to do it. And we're all built differently, so it's okay to not be able to get that heel to the mat or putting your leg higher than something else, or it doesn't really matter. It's all what you are comfortable with. It's how your body is made. So again, it's discovering yourself and finding out how your body can move different ways. If you need a break, of course, during the session, it is perfectly okay to just sit in a relaxing sitting position or wherever you feel comfortable and just breathe, relax. It can get a little crazy, but today's shouldn't be too bad, so it'll be all okay. And of course, if you have any questions, I just ask that you wait for the very end just so you don't break flow or anything else. I also don't chat much while I'm doing the positions and the whole thing itself, so I will, of course, if you need to ask a question in the middle, go ahead. I just won't be able to read it until the very end then, okay? So yes, let's begin. We are going to first start off like we normally do with our breathing exercises. Some quick things. If you've been here before, you obviously know by now how you're supposed to be breathing. If not, pretty simple. Whenever you are breathing in and out, it should be all through the nose, not through the mouth. So when you breathe in, into the nostrils, your stomach should be expanding as your lungs expand. Make sure you're not, as you're breathing in, sucking in your stomach. You don't want to be doing that. You want to be filling your stomach as you breathe in. And of course, as you breathe out through your nose, you should be pushing your abdomen in to help push the air out. All right? So let's go ahead and take a few moments to breathe. So comfortable seating position, wherever you feel comfortable sitting. If it helps, you can put your hand on your stomach so you can just feel your stomach moving in and out so you're breathing correctly. And of course, you can sit however you would like, wherever your hands feel comfortable. If you really want to get into it, you can do the whole finger crossing, pointing, wherever you want your hands to be. So yes, let's go ahead and breathe in. And breathe out. 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 And go ahead and take a few moments just to breathe at your own relaxing pace. 2 more breaths. All right, perfect. So those, of course, will be our first breaths then. The next breathing exercise is a nice one to do, especially at work or in like a stressful situation. You kind of just need to recenter yourself or refocus yourself. It's called a pranayama. If you have a cold or you're having problems breathing, I don't recommend this one. You can just do your normal breathing exercises like we just did. If you can breathe clearly, then go ahead and give this one a try. And you will learn why you shouldn't do this well if you have a stuffy nose. So what you're going to first do is close your 3 middle fingers and keep your thumb and your pinky extended. Still breathing in and out of your nose. To start, you're going to take a big breath in through your nose. And then after that, you're going to, with your thumb, close off the right nostril and then breathe out through the left nostril. And then breathe in through the left nostril. After you breathe in, you're going to switch sides using your pinky to close off your left nostril and breathe out through the right nostril. And then breathe in through the right nostril. And after you breathe in, just going to switch sides again, closing off that right nostril and breathing out through the left. And we just repeat it. So, if you were just watching, let's go ahead and do it all together and for real. So, go ahead and extend your thumb and your pinky. Take a nice breath in. And close off that right nostril and breathe out through the left. And breathe in. And pinch off your left nostril and breathe out through the right. And breathe into the right. Switch sides, breathe out through the left nostril. Breathe in through the left. Switch sides, breathe out through the right. Breathe into the right. Switch sides, breathe out through the left. Breathe into the left. Switch sides and go ahead and do a few on your own at your own pace. And the next time you breathe in through your right nostril, go ahead and relax into a nice, comfortable seating position. All right, and so the next thing we do, of course, I apologize if you can't hear the music. There we go. I turned it up a bit. It's going to be the 6 movements of the spine. Of course, your spine moves in 6 different directions. It can bend up and down. It can go side to side, and of course, it can twist. So good warm-up exercise just to get in, and these are actually really good. And for today's big topic is lower back pain. These are very, very good for back pain. So let's go ahead and do those. To start, give me one second. Crack my back. Woo. You're gonna be on your hands and knees. Your knees should be spread shoulder width apart. And then your hands, of course, should be right at a comfortable position right below your shoulder there. Also, of course, spread apart. The first two, of course, we're going to be doing is the bending up and down. And those two poses are called cat and cow. So, for cat, you are going to arch your back up, bringing your pelvis in, and your upper body, upper shoulders in as well, creating this like angry cat pose. And then for cow pose, you are going to do the complete opposite. You are going to be pushing your pelvis out and bringing your abdomen down, kind of like a cow with udders. Lifting your head just a little bit, just to get a little bit of an extra stretch. And we just repeat those two for about a minute or two. So let's go ahead, get in a comfortable position if you were just watching, and arch your back. Give me a second, sorry. Drop your abdomen, put your pelvis out and your head up a bit into cow pose. And go ahead and switch back to cat, arching your back up, bringing your pelvis in, your shoulders in a bit too. And switch back to cow. Bring your abdomen down, pelvis out, and shoulders up a bit. And switching back to cat. Bring that pelvis back in. And back to cow. Dropping your abdomen, bringing your pelvis out and up, along with your head and shoulders. And back down to cat. And back to cow. And make sure you are still breathing. It's the most important part. And back to cat. One more time for each one. And back to cow. And back to cat. Alright, you can go ahead and go back into a neutral position. If you need to roll your wrist, mine usually get like the crack there every once in a while. Back, make sure you are readjusting yourself into your neutral pose there. Next one is going to be the spine going back and forth. Super simple one. All you are doing is, as your pelvis goes to the right, you're just kind of shifting your upper body to the left to twist it back to the left then. And then kind of do the complete thing on the opposite side. As your pelvis goes left, your upper body should be going right. Just kind of moving the spine back and forth. And just do those a couple times at your own pace, finding a good stretch at whatever speed you would like. You can also kind of shift it to do more either upper body or your upper spine, or shift it down and get a deeper lower back stretch in that too. And of course, make sure you are breathing. Do a couple more there. All right, and go ahead and go back into a neutral position whenever you're ready. If your back does start to hurt, a thing you can do, of course, is what they call child's pose. Sit down on your top of your legs there, and then just kind of bend down and reach out, just stretching your spine out. It's always a bit relaxing position. We'll be doing that at the very end of this next one, because this one always usually tops it off. So this next one is going to be the twisting of the spine. For this one, same neutral position. making sure your knees are shoulder width apart and along with your hands and wrist. I'm going to turn around just so you can see this one first. So, what we're going to do is we're going to start out with our right hand. You are going to feed it behind your left arm, and as it reaches out, you're going to be dropping your right shoulder down to the mat along with your head. And wherever you want to put your left arm, I normally like to put it in behind my back, just reaching behind just to get a better stretch. And if you do that, give your left shoulder a little pull to the ceiling there just to deepen that. And then of course the left side will be the exact same, just doing it from the opposite end. So let me do it from this angle. Let's go ahead, and if you are watching, start in our neutral position. And with your right arm, you're going to feed it behind your left arm, reaching all the way out, lowering your right shoulder to the floor. And then wherever you want to put your left arm, I usually like to reach it behind me just for a deeper stretch there. And giving yourself a little lift, and make sure you are breathing. And just holding this for a few breaths then. And then whenever you're ready, go ahead and unthread yourself from that position back into the neutral position. And of course, we'll be doing the same thing on the opposite side. 1 second, I'm trying to fix my shirt there. There we go. So, in your neutral position, with your left hand, you're going to feed it behind your right arm. And as you do and stretch it out, you're going to be lowering your left shoulder to the floor along with your head. And of course, wherever you want with your right arm, if you want to reach behind you, give yourself a little bit of a lift there just to deepen that stretch. And of course, breathing as well. And whenever you're ready, go ahead and unwind yourself out of that position. And just like I showed you before this pose, that child's pose, go ahead and sit on the top of your legs there and just stretch out until you get a nice good stretch, elongating your spine. Just to stretch it out a bit. All right, and of course we can reach up, stretch, perfect. All right, and those will be, of course, the 6 movements of the spine. Next thing we'll be doing, of course, is our sun salutations. I will go ahead and do an example of it first if you are new here, and if not, you can go ahead and start doing them at your own pace if you would like. So for the sun salutations, this will be our standing position. You're going to want to stand all nice and tall. Give me 1 second as I fix that. There we go. Standing all nice and tall. What I'd like to imagine is to elongate your spine to help you stand up straight, is to imagine a string running through your body, through the top of your head, and then giving that string a nice pull just to kind of lift everything up. Feet should be shoulder width apart like always. Oh, I apologize. Let me switch it over to the main camera. There we go. Haha, that would be a lot easier. So that string, pulling yourself up, standing up nice and tall. I'm going to do it from this angle just so you can see. Where we start for the sun salutations is what we call prayer pose. So bringing your hands to your chest here as so. And to start, we will take a breath in. As we do, you sweep your arms down and up over your head, crossing them in the air, and then uncrossing them as you breathe out, reaching all the way down to your toes, or wherever you can reach. Next thing we're going to do is take a breath in, and as you do, you're going to come up halfway up your legs, and you breathe out as you go back down to your toes. And with your next breath in, putting your hands to the mat and your feet back into the position of downward dog, making an upside down V with yourself. And then from here, as you breathe out, you're going to shift yourself forward into a plank pose. And dropping your knees to the floor, chin and chest, keeping your pelvis up. And then from here, you're going to scoop yourself up into Cobra pose, having your arms support your upper body. Also another good back stretch for lower back pain. And then from here, you're going to curl your toes under, push yourself back up into downward dog. And you're going to walk your feet forward and your hands back, touching your toes once more. And then with a big breath in, you're going to reach all the way up over your head again and start back into prayer pose. Super duper easy. If you want to watch again, go right ahead. If you want to attempt it, go ahead as well. So, starting in a neutral position and starting in prayer pose, you're going to breathe in as you swing your arms down and up over your head, crossing them. And as you breathe out, stretch all the way down to touch your toes. Breathe in, coming up halfway up your legs. And breathe out as you go right back down. And as you breathe in, put your hands to the floor, feet back into downward dog. As you breathe out, shift yourself forward into a plank pose. And breathe in as you drop your knees to the mat, chin and chest to the floor, keeping the pelvis out. And breathing out as you push yourself up into Cobra pose. Curl your toes under. Breathe in as you go into downward dog. Focus on getting on a nice stretch. And breathe out as you walk your feet forward, hands back to touch your toes. And a nice big breath in as you come all the way up, reaching your arms above your head, back into prayer pose. All right, and we'll do it right again. Go ahead and breathe in as you drop your hands, bring them all the way above your head, crossing them. And breathe out as you go all the way down to touch your toes. Breathe in, up halfway up your legs. And breathe out as you go back down to your toes. Breathe in as you put your hands to the floor, feet back into downward dog. And breathe out as you shift yourself forward into plank pose. Breathe in as you drop your knees to the floor, chin and chest. And breathe in as you scoop yourself up into Cobra. Curl your toes under. Breathe in as you shift back into downward dog. And breathe out as you walk your feet forward, Hands back touching your toes. And a nice breath in as you come all the way back up. Arms above your head. Back into prayer pose. And go ahead and breathe in. Stretching your arms up over your head, crossing them. And breathe out as you go all the way down to your toes. Breathe in, up halfway. Breathe out as you go back down. Breathe in as you drop your hands to the floor. Feet back into downward dog. Breathe in as you shift yourself forward into plank pose. And breathe out as you drop your knees to the floor, chin and chest. And go ahead and scoop yourself up into cobra pose. And breathe in as you curl your toes under into downward dog. And breathe out as you bring your feet forward, hands back and touch your toes. And a big breath in as you come all the way up. Arms above your head, back into prayer pose. Could do 2 more. Breathe in as you scoop your arms up over your head, crossing them. And breathe out as you go all the way down to touch your toes. Breathe in, up halfway your leg. And breathe out as you go back down to touch your toes. And breathe in as you put your hands down to the floor, feet back into downward dog. And breathe out as you shift yourself forward into plank pose. Breathe in as you drop your knees to the floor, chin and chest. And breathe out as you scoop yourself up into cobra pose. Curl your toes under. Breathe in as you go into downward dog. And as you breathe out, walk your feet forward, hands back to touch your toes. And then a big breath as you come all the way up, arms above your head, back to prayer pose. And last time, breathe in as you scoop your arms up above your head, crossing them. And breathe out as you go all the way down to touch your toes. Breathe in, up halfway your legs. Breathe out as you go back down to touch your toes. And as you breathe in, put your hands to the floor, feet back into downward dog. As you breathe out, push yourself forward into plank pose. Breathe in as you drop your knees to the floor. Breathe out and chin and chest. And breathe out as you scoop yourself up into cobra pose. Curl your toes. Breathe in as you go into downward dog. Breathe out as you walk your feet forward, hands back touching your toes. And take a big breath in as you come all the way up. And when you get over your hands above your head, go on your tippy toes and give yourself a nice stretch. And come back down into prayer pose. All right. And those will be our sun salutations for the day. Next things I want to do, of course, is our main focus for the day. And that is going to be our back pain. So, go ahead and take a nice seated position again, wherever you are comfortable. And this one. So, as you adjust and relax a bit and breathe, lower back pain really has come from, improper sitting, improper standing. If you have a desk job, you know, you're on your feet all day. A lot of it comes from just actually your hips and pulling on the muscles and doing whatnot. So a lot of lower back pain and adjustment and exercising is going to be a lot with your hips and exercising those, and you're going to feel a bit of a pinch and opening of your hips, especially with a couple of these. Not that hard, pretty easy. The first one is just going to be a spine twist, another spine twist. For this one, you are going to lay on your back with your knees bent and up in the air. And what you're going to do, pretty simple. You're just going to bring your knees together, and then you're just going to drop them either to the right or left, keeping your shoulders on the floor. And just bringing those to the floor into a comfortable position. If you want to deepen that stretch, try to keep both knees down and bring your left hip as close to the ground, just giving it a nice little pull, just to get an inner stretch in the inner thighs there. And just gonna hold that for a bit, making sure you're breathing. Make sure to relax your shoulders and that you're not straining them. Take one more breath. And go ahead and bring yourself knees back up. And we're just going to do the exact same thing on the other side. Dropping them to the opposite side that you had them on before. Making sure to keep your shoulders down flat against the floor. And shift yourself where you're comfortable. And just breathe and relax. Feel this stretch. I usually feel this one both in my inner thighs and sometimes in my upper shoulders and too. Take 2 more breaths. All right. Whenever you're ready, go ahead and pull your knees back up. And if you want to rest them for a bit, you can lay them flat, corpse pose. Give yourself a nice stretch. All right. Now, the second one you can just keep laying down, or if it's easier to look at me real quick if you need to. It's going to be called the thread and needle. This is going to be a big, big, big hip opener one. So a lot of target to the lower back on this one. Another laying down one, so always our favorites. So if you want to go ahead and lay back down, we're going to start with bringing your left knee up. And then, of course, bring your actually, go ahead and bring both these up. And what you're going to want to do, you might need to adjust your left leg and where it's positioned. You're going to take your right foot and bring it over top your left knee. And again, you might need to adjust. This is going to be one where you need to feel your range. And then from here, if you need to deepen the stretch, with your hands, you're just going to very slowly pull your left knee in towards your face until you find yourself a good spot where you can really feel the stretch in your right hip there. And make sure this right knee isn't too close to your chest. You want to be making sure that's getting pushed out and away from you. But again, find where you are comfortable, find where you're not hurting yourself, and find where you're getting a good stretch. And of course, remember to breathe. And we're going to hold this one for a few. Do one more breath. All right, and go ahead and drop your left foot down. Unwind yourself a bit. If you need to stretch out that right leg, go ahead and do so. And whenever you're ready, bring your knees back up. We're going to do the same thing on the opposite side. Go ahead and just find a good spot for your right leg. And with your left leg, you're going to cross that in front of the left one. And then go ahead and find that good spot, bringing your right knee in to where you can feel a nice good stretch in your left hip now. And remembering to breathe. Let's do one more breath. All right, go ahead and lower your right leg to the ground. And if you need to stretch out that left leg, any stretching you need to do. All right, and go ahead and slowly bring yourself back up. Last one we're gonna do, it's called pigeon pose. This is another good hip opener one. Fair warning, this one can be a little bit more tricky to do. This one, what we're gonna do is you're gonna start in the neutral position like we were doing for our 6 movements of the spine. We are going to start with stretching our left foot back, straighten our left foot. Your right leg, you're going to want to bring your foot over to the left side, and as you stretch your leg back and lowering your torso to the ground, you're going to just find a good position, nice stretch, and just holding yourself there, just keeping your hips and your pelvis down. You might need to adjust yourself. Again, it's another one. Don't go too far. You're going to give yourself a Charlie horse or you're going to pull something. If you really want to deepen this stretch, you can go ahead and lower yourself down on your right leg. Now push that down just a little bit more. Just stretch out the right hip. And of course, remembering to breathe. Should be feeling this one in your right side. Let's go ahead and do 2 more breaths. All right. If you're laying down on your right leg, slowly bring yourself back up with your arms. Uncross your right leg. And go ahead and reach that right leg back. Wiggle it around a bit. Give it a nice stretch. Whenever you're done, go ahead and go back into that neutral position. We're going to do the same thing for the left side. So reaching your right leg back, making sure your left foot gets put on the right side of your leg, of your right leg. As you reach and slide your right leg back and bringing yourself down, keeping that left knee in front of you, lowering your pelvis down to the floor, finding a good spot where you can start feeling the stretch in your left side, left hip. And again, if you want to deepen this stretch, just gonna slowly bring your torso down onto your left leg and knee. Make sure you are comfortable. Make sure you're not overdoing it. You do not need to overstretch yourself. And just breathe and relax. Find where your body wants to go. Let's go ahead and do 2 more breaths. All right. If you're laying down on your leg, slowly bring yourself back up. Uncross your leg. Bring your legs back to a neutral position. Go ahead and stretch that left leg out. Shake it around a bit. Let's give it a stretch. And go ahead and get back into a nice seating position. And of course, the last thing we are going to do is our normal corpse pose, just to kind of help lay down, enjoy the music. I'll be muting myself as always, just breathing, emptying your mind, focus on just totally zoning out. It's like a little nap time now. If you have issues zoning out, it's just a form of meditation. Good place to start, focus on is your heart, just listening to your heartbeat and just focusing on that. It's what's always helped me. Of course, everyone is different in finding what helps them meditate and zone out the most. So let's go ahead and get into a nice laying down position where you are comfortable. Of course, wherever you want your arms to be, just close your eyes, listen to the music, and zone out. All right. Go ahead and keep your eyes closed and slowly bring yourself up into a seated position where you are comfortable. Take a big breath in and breathe out. Whenever you're ready, go ahead and open your eyes. So yeah, that'll be today's session. Hope everyone had a nice relaxing time. And I feel nice and stretched out. Thank you, Twitch crew. Of course, if you are not part of the Twitch crew community, go ahead and join the Discord. We have a bunch of big, give me 1 second. Oh, there's Musi. Hi, Musi. Oh, there it goes. Lots of artists, musicians, streamers, new streamers, well-developed streamers. We have everyone there, tech support, loving community, lots of positivity. That's what we are about. So go ahead and if you're already not joined in the Discord, you should definitely do that. I do this every Thursday at 9:30. As a big heads up, I will not be able to do this next Thursday as I will be out of town. But we will definitely be doing this again starting February. So of course you can always watch the VODs, and if you want to do them on your own or at your own time, they are there on our Twitch page. Yeah, and then of course I'm going to end this. I forgot to end this last time with a quote, but I'll end it this time. I got one this time. Don't be pushed around by the fears in your mind. Be led by the dreams in your heart. Namaste. All right, let me go ahead and find us a good fellow Discord group, Twitch crew words person who is live right now so we can raid them and spread some love. Give me 1 moment as I find our lucky friend. Oh, we actually got a lot of people streaming right now. Woohoo! Let's go ahead. Let's try to find somebody new that we didn't do before. I don't think we've done Kitty Chaos, so let me go ahead and get her going so we can go ahead and raid her. But yes, any questions, please feel free to DM me in Discord, and I will be sure to help you out as best as I can. Because that's what I'm here for. That's what I love doing. So I love helping you all out. There we go. Good goodness. My computer was not liking that. Command C. All right. And until next week, I will see you all there, and I will also see you in Discord. Hope everyone has a great weekend and a great rest of your week then. See you next time.